Hello, and welcome back to the PNN. My name is Parker Taft. Today is day 17, and after doing my hike today with a group of friends, I thought I would create a video with you guys talking about the importance of exercise and how to get started for those of you who are not already in the exercise habit. I was bitten by the exercise bug, we'll say 6 months ago, and it hasn't gotten out of my system since, and all the better for it. I've lost some weight, got some definition in my muscles, improved my endurance and physical and mental health, as well as my own confidence in myself and my abilities. So exercise is the great leveler. You don't need to be a wonderful athlete. You don't need to be some muscle builder like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or be able to run the fastest mile like Usain Bolt. You just, get out there and get moving, get some blood pumping and energy back into you, going for a walk. Ultimate Frisbee. I've heard that's fun, and a favorite of many college students. Golf, going for a swim. It can be really anything, but what's really important is the actual physical action of getting your body moving on a daily or every other day basis, although it's highly advised, as you'll see, to do it on a daily basis. So, what is exercise? I'm sure most of you probably know what it is to some degree or another, but I'd like to separate the idea of exercise from the idea of athletics or sports. Everyone doesn't necessarily need to be an athlete, but everyone should be moving physically, exercising on a daily basis. You don't need to play a sport, lacrosse, football, or you don't need to be the star athlete on the team. You just need to get out there and get moving. So the official definition is from dictionary.com is exercise is any activity requiring physical effort carried out to sustain or improve health and fitness. So yes, see the little guy down there? He's getting exercise. So the benefits of exercise. I'm sure many of you have heard it, but I will just reiterate it here. It helps to control weight or lose weight. Just to point out that 71.6% of adult Americans over the age of 20 are overweight as of 2017-2018. Thank you, CDC and the Bureau of Statistics, for providing us with that information. It helps combat health conditions and diseases, specifically chronic conditions. Someone who exercises regularly is far less likely to suffer from heart attack, stroke, dementia, Alzheimer's, and other less welcome diseases. And it has been correlated that it strengthens the immune system and allows the body to evacuate toxins via sweating and physical exertion. So it could give you a few years on your life if you get into the exercise habit now. It's actually estimated that if someone consistently exercises throughout their entire life, the types of exercise can change, but if they consistently exercise throughout their entire life, they can add at least 5 to 6 years onto their lifespan. So it can be quite helpful. Helps improve mood, boosts energy, promotes sleep. I know we have quite a few insomniacs out there, or people who stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking at a particular friend of mine. Playing video games, doing homework, and then going to bed and waking up at 12, looking at another friend of mine. So instead, it helps promote sleep at more regular times and helps you get into better sleep habits. It improves brain health and memory. I'm sure all of us, from the freshman in high school to the PhD candidate, can understand that, if the brain's not firing on all cylinders, you can't necessarily, and you're not remembering as well as you should, you can't really ace that test or finish that term paper. Especially for those who have pulled all-nighters, they can definitely tell you that the brain is quite addled after that, and you're not, like after the first hour, you're not really giving your best effort. So a little bit of exercise to help boost the brain power can help you improve your academic grades to a great extent. That's why there is a good amount, not 100%, but there's a good amount of good scholar athletes, students with good grades who are also athletes. There's some correlation in that. And then it is good for your muscles and your bones. If you just sit on the couch all day eating chips, your muscles and bones aren't going to be very healthy, and you're more likely to be prone to diseases and long-term health conditions, whereas someone who's out there exercising every day, even if it's just for 30 minutes a day, can see some good results. Exercise is a great, healthy way to have fun and be social. You see workout groups all the time. Heck, there's a group in my neighborhood that walks by every day without fail. It's 4 or 5 people. They're always laughing and talking, and they're getting their exercise. Helping get moving, especially after sitting at home during COVID-19 or at school or at work during long hours staring at a computer. So they're out there getting their exercise and having a fun time catching up with their friends. I actually also went on a hike with a group of my friends today, and it just goes to show you how exercise can be a group social activity. It's not the lone or two people sitting in a gym lifting weights all the time. That's not exercise. Well, it is exercise, but there can be a social aspect to it, and you can have fun doing it. There's people in their 60s and 70s who, without fail for the past 30 years, have had play tennis matches, say, every Wednesday with a specific partner. And it's a good way to keep in touch with friends, especially as you age, and continue your lifelong friendships, as well as getting some exercise and getting moving. So, let us continue. So, the recommended levels of exercise. I got this from the Mayo Clinic, who got it from the Department of Health and Human Services. So they recommend at least 150 minutes a week of moderate aerobic activity, or 75 minutes a week of vigorous aerobic activity, or a combination of moderate and vigorous activity. The guidelines suggest that you spread this exercise throughout the week. Examples include running, walking, or swimming. Even small amounts of physical activity are helpful, and accumulated activity throughout the day adds up to provide health benefits. So you don't need to go to the gym for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours to see results. Actually, it's recommended that you do it in short spurts, broken up throughout the day, rather than in one block. Say 20, 30 years ago, the common knowledge was you have to be in the gym 2 to 3 hours a day, working out, pumping iron to get gains, build muscle, increase endurance and aerobic capacity. But now the science is telling us otherwise. After looking at the studies, a physical activity of, say, 15 minutes broken up throughout your day would actually see greater results than someone who does 2 to 3 hours, because your body gets tired and fatigued, whereas in the quick burst of 15 minutes, the body gets pumping and it starts build up and it carries through the rest of the day until you get your next one and your body heart rate jumps again, and then your body settles back down to a baseline. And then they found it's much more efficient. HIIT workouts have become very popular, and there's quite a few good ones on YouTube, so I advise you looking those up. So it goes to show you that you don't need to designate, hours and hours of your time. You can do it on a coffee break or at a whim. You could, after listening to this video, drop and do 20 push-ups. And as long as you break it up throughout the day and are consistent with how you do it, you can see consistent gains being made in your own physical health and well-being. It also advises here that strength training exercises for all major muscle groups at least 2 times a week. Examples include lifting free weights, using weight machines, or doing body weight training. I like to mix my aerobic and body weight training activities just merely because I think it's good. It keeps the mind active and doesn't allow you to get bored. Many people, when they're lifting weights, think, oh, this is just mindless and repetitive. So I like to mix up my exercises to keep the mind active and not to get bored or my muscles just start working automatically. Because you have to be conscious and be struggling and pushing forward, especially in weightlifting, if you want to see consistent gains, rather than just the mindless repetition of a light weight. Because it will eventually, but it'll take a longer course for you. And it's also advises to spread your activities throughout the week. If you want to lose weight, meet specific fitness goals, or get even more benefits, you may need to ramp up your moderate aerobic activity to 300 minutes or more a week. As it says, it's best to break it up throughout the week and not say, go exercise one day. The common rule of thumb is don't go without exercise for more than 2 days. And the main advice is exercise at least 30 minutes a day, whether that's going for a walk, a run, lifting weights, punching bag, going for your weekly tennis match, hiking. It can be anything that involves you elevating your heart rate and getting some mild physical activity in there. Tips on how you can get started. For those of you who are interested, I put this slide. So be consistent. You must assess your fitness level. Now, there's a lot of good tests out there to run. And actually, one of the articles that I got this from has a good rule of thumb to help you determine where your fitness level is. Rules of thumb, I should say. And I advise you to check that out. I'll leave it in the description below. Also, there are quite a few good apps out there, exercise apps, that will build a program based on your test results. It'll ask you, how many push-ups do you think you do? How many pull-ups do you think you do? How fast can you run a mile? And it depends on the type. Like, there's specific apps that are focused on just abs, just legs, just biceps. And then there are others that are just like full body workout. And still others that just focus on weights, and others focus on running, and others focus on calisthenics. So there's a great variety out there, and some will build custom programs for you. Now, mind you, some of them cost a subscription fee or you have to buy, but there are a few good free ones out there, and I advise you guys going and checking it out. Also, if you don't like the app idea, you can build your own using, YouTube videos and advice you can read and glean off the internet. But I think starting out with just a simple app is the best for beginners. And then it says design your fitness program. This is good for YouTube videos and exercise apps because you can pick a program or you can get one customized to you if you do the apps that help you assess your fitness level. One of the best things to emphasize is create balanced goals with a good mix of different exercises as well as establish a routine. To be consistent, you have to have a routine. I pretty much emphasized this in my time management video a couple weeks back, but I still think it's important. If you want to accomplish any goal in life, you have to be consistent in the execution of it. And by building it into your routine, you make it automatic. If you make it automatic, it is more likely to happen because it takes the choice out of your mind. It's not the yes or no. Should I get a latte today? Should I not get a latte today? Should I eat that brownie? Should I not eat that brownie? When you have these yes or no decisions, no matter how much willpower you have, you will eventually break down. So instead, you make it automatic. You remove temptation. You remove the ability for you to say no to it unless you're horribly ill or there's a family emergency or something like that that would typically disrupt your average daily routine. Assemble equipment if necessary. If you're lifting weights or maybe you're going running, I advise you invest in like a cheap or moderately priced weight set and some nice running shoes for either of those. So it can help you improve without having to risk possible injury or prolong your process by leading you down a dead-end path. Get started, start out slow, and increase it as you improve and gain confidence. I remember I started out doing barely 10 pull-ups a day, and now I do 100. Mind you, I don't do what they would call full pull-ups. I do about 10 full pull-ups, and then the rest I do what they call assisted pull-ups, which is you basically push yourself to the top using assisted, a jump, a chair, a friend, and then you slowly lower yourself down, and it helps build strength. Monitor your progress and track your goals. As always important in life, write down your goals and track your progress and set milestones in which you can see, all right, did I reach this? So say you want to lose 100 pounds. We'll just go to simple math here. So a pound a week, that's your goal. So you weigh yourself every week to see if you reach that goal or not and readjust your plan and where you're going. Maybe you'll eat less sweets this week or something like that. So again, these are just generalizations. And then 30 minutes a day or at least 1 hour every other day, that is the rule of thumb basic for starters. So mental tips. Be consistent. I hope you're sensing a pattern in this. Make realistic goals and expectations. You're not going to go out there and run a marathon immediately just starting out. Just like you're not going to lift 200, 300, 400 pounds just starting out. So you have to be realistic in your goal setting and your expectations. You're not going to go from your couch to a slick, six-pack abs, big biceps, athletic Adonis in the span of a week. So don't lose hope, but also be realistic of the physical confines of your body and the laws of physics and metabolism. Be kind to yourself. If you skip a day, it isn't the end of the world. If you can't make it through an entire workout, it's all right. We've all been there. We all started out that way. And as you improve and you get into harder workouts, you'll realize that when you first start that workout, you have to take more breaks than you will once you've started to master that workout. I know there was a ab workout that I once used. Actually, I still use it on occasion. And it was difficult when I started out. Like I had breaks after each round, whereas now I can go through it in its entirety with considerably more ease than I did initially. I don't need to take as many breaks or breathers. Abandon the all or nothing attitude, like, I'm going to lift all of this or I'm going to give up or something like that. It only stresses you out. It puts too much pressure on you, and it hurts you in the long run. It makes you hate exercising, which is not exercise is just something you should do for your own benefit. It shouldn't be something like, all or nothing. And then find something that you enjoy. Some people like calisthenics. Some people like weightlifting. Some people will run and run and run until the day's end. Others hate running. Others dislike lifting up weights or doing jumping jacks and push-ups. It's all up to you and what you decide and your own personal choices. So, on to my personal advice. This is stuff that I've pulled from my own experiences in its entirety. So, start out simple. Walking, push-ups, sit-ups. There's something anyone can do just starting off. And you don't need to do a lot of it, just be consistent in how many you do. YouTube and exercise apps are the best. They're very good resources. Again, the drawback of exercise apps is most of them will require a subscription at some point because, we're in that age where everyone's trying to get on the Netflix bandwagon. So, but there are a couple of good ones out there. If you want to, you can comment in this comment section below and I'll see if I can find which particular apps that I use and upload recommendations on them. Don't get discouraged. It's very easy to get discouraged, especially if you don't see results right away or within a certain time frame that you had hoped. Life doesn't happen on your own time. It happens when it happens. You just need to stay consistent and do what you do. Be consistent and do what you do. And you can see the second to last one is stay consistent. I hope you're seeing the pattern here. And then lastly, do warm-ups and cool-downs. Stretch or you will hurt yourself. That is something I did not learn when I first started running, and I paid the price for it. My legs ached like sore toothaches. Not something you want to experience. So, my personal favorite exercise, especially for someone who's just starting out: walking, hiking, swimming, calisthenics, which are just body weight exercises, push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups, and weightlifting. Weightlifting is for moderate people shifting from starter to more moderate. I realize physical fitness is important and I'm trying to improve myself and my own body, or someone who's trying to shift into more weight loss and body image exercises. If you just want to say, work out or something like that, calisthenics is good. So swimming. Hiking is really fun. That's a really good social. Hiking and walking are very good for like social exercise activities. So those I would recommend. And again, we all have to be comfortable in our own skin. So if you say prefer to exercise privately, if you don't have the confidence yet to exercise in public, then that's fine. We all have our own paths to walk in life. I am only here as a resource and as a tool to help you all improve your own lives. So that being said, here's my workout schedule. So Mondays, I typically start off with a run for 30 minutes, an ab workout, 100 pull-ups and 100 push-ups. I like to preface this because calisthenics, pull-ups, and push-ups are technically considered a part of calisthenics. That these I consider like warm-up and cool-down exercises, so I don't include that in my standard calisthenic routine. My calisthenic routine comes from a couple of apps that I use, whereas the push-ups and pull-ups are just stuff I use to start out my exercise and close out my exercise. Tuesday, I run for 30 minutes, do an ab workout. Again, I switch my ab workouts every other day. I use several YouTube videos. Ryan Tran and his 7-minute ab workout is a really good one. And I like switch back and forth between various different ab workouts to make sure I hit all sections of my abs. So you see that I'm consistent in my ab workouts. That's because I'm mixing up, and that's actually good. Once you get sort of proficient at it and start really working at it, it's good to mix it up to help it stay fresh and keep it difficult for you so your body has to work at it instead of your body getting into just a mindless, what I call drone mode, where it just does it autonomously and it doesn't keep your mind engaged. And then we proceed on to Wednesday, where I do 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, ab workout, and calisthenics. You see, I break up my running so I don't tire myself out or injure myself. And then Thursday is I run for 30 minutes, 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, and then calisthenics. And then Friday, I call this like my super day because I run for 30 minutes, 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, and then calisthenics. And then I forgot to write it down on the slideshow, but I also do an ab workout. Saturday is like a stay active. It's like a working cool down where I still exercise, but I'm not as not consistent, I should say. I'm not as active as I would be during the weekdays. So I just go out for a walk. Maybe I try out a new exercise I saw online or was recommended to me, and then I do my standard 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups. And then Sunday is a day of rest. I may go for a walk on Sunday, just something to keep me active and get in some physical exercise that day, but I don't do any hardcore or intense workouts. I just do, nice, slow, moderate walk, which helps the body recover. So as always, I have my sources and further reading slide. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did so, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that bell button for notifications. I'm looking forward to hearing all of your comments in the comment section regarding how you're improving your health through exercise. That's my challenge for you today. As always, this is the PNN broadcast signing off.